All right, everybody, welcome to Gen Booms. I am Connor.
I am Robert's dad.
And today we are doing Submarine by the Marías, which is actually one of my favorite newer artists that I sort of discovered recently. Pretty much right before the Grammys, they were doing all those new artists, and I was like, all right, let me check out all these nominees. And so I like a lot of them. They're all really good. But the Marías, I just really like. I feel like they had a very unique sound, and somewhat in a way reminded me of Radiohead with some of their sounds, but just really unique. So I really like them. So pretty cool. We don't really know if this is going to be something that y'all care for that much, but
but yeah, anyway, I don't really know them at all. You played me one song, and like I said, I know they were up for Best New Artist, even though I just looked them up right before doing this and found out they actually been around for 10 years.
As always.
In Los Angeles, and that she apparently was born in Puerto Rico and then lived in Atlanta, Georgia for a while, and so that kind of was, those are her influences.
And then
came to LA, and then
we found that we were upon researching, we saw that they formed basically when she went to perform at Cantor's Deli in LA, which I'm sure for most of you, you're like, okay, but since in LA, that's like a staple. That's like a super popular deli spot, and we were both like, what?
Yeah,
like a deli?
Yeah, a deli.
That's okay.
It's a big one. It's been there 80,
iconic,
90 years, 100 years. I don't know. It's been there forever, it seems like.
Yeah.
So anyway,
that's surprising.
That is kind of cool. And yeah, other than that, like I said, you played me one of their songs one time, and I liked it.
On this album, yeah.
On this album, okay.
That's
massive. All I know from it.
Yeah, that one is by far their big. That one's
okay.
Apparently, they're gonna hit probably 1 billion streams in a few days.
Oh wow,
just shy. So yeah, that one's really popular. There's a couple other somewhat popular ones on here, but yeah, just Submarine and.
It had a nice mellow vibe, I remember, and I know that they do some stuff in Spanish, and I know they did a song with Bad Bunny.
Yeah, exactly. On Un Verano Sin Ti, which we'll definitely get to that as well.
At some point, yeah. So, all right, well, let's jump into it.
Yeah, we'll jump into the first song being Ride.
All righty.
Let me put it all the way up. Let it play into the next one. This is more of an intro.
Yeah, I just realized that. It's a short one.
Yeah. But yeah, introducing Submarine. So.
Yeah, that was different. Very different from
Musically,
the one song you played.
very
which is super mellow.
Yeah. All right, now we got Hamptons.
Weekend in the Hamptons, all the wives were dressed in white. I'm a little bit in love. Comes a time when silence melts away into the tides. Through my phone in crisis, wasn't aiming
sort of interesting that like the drum is sort of like almost like a fast-paced, like a Bad Bunny type of drum. And, the rest of it is very mellow.
Yeah, that's what I thought was really interesting because it is. Yeah, the drumming is
Sort of
percussion is just
opposite. Yeah.
exactly. Well, that was an unexpected ending.
About to go into echo.
I was not expecting that. That was trippy. Yeah, so I'm not sure you can actually be just a little bit in love. I mean, I think you're in love or you're not. But
Exactly.
But anyway, that's interesting lyrics. I thought that
Yeah, fairly simple, like for intro,
right.
for
Yeah,
the first song anyway.
pretty mellow on there. I the only thing that really like stood out lyrically was like that, like, through my phone in crisis. Wasn't aiming for your eyes. Like
I know it's sort of an interesting couple lines in that.
Yeah, because it's about I'm a little bit in love. Like, was there a big argument? Like, what happened here? Like,
I know, right?
That was like, whoop, my bad.
Yeah.
But
It's sort of interesting. It's not super direct exactly what it's about. I think the last verse makes it the most clear of like, were you ever so sincere? Always he only keeps me up, always calls my bluff. And that's where she says, I have one more question, because she keeps saying like, I'm a little bit in love, never gonna come.
yeah,
As if like the love is never gonna come.
yeah.
Because it starts almost like, what? Yeah, the weekend in the Hamptons, all the wives were dressed in white. Like, what?
Yeah, right.
What are we talking about?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It was, a trippy kind of a thing. Like I said, like her thing is very mellow, and then the percussion was just kind of building and doing like a little more of a chaotic vibe to it.
Yeah.
Something going there.
It's
So
an interesting song.
yeah.
Next we got Echo. I guess I'll go the last few seconds on Hamptons.
Oh, I don't think it was gonna do like a segue.
I don't think it was.
It sounded
'cause
like it just
I
kind of
don't
abruptly
quite
ended.
remember.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
I wonder what it's like to be alone. If I start to touch the ground and can taste it in my mouth, is my hand touching yours? If I hold it, I won't let go. This is over dramatic, headed back from New York, 'cause we both know that this situation's out of control. Now I'm caught in the middle, breaking down on the floor, 'cause we both know that this situation's out of control. Was crying out for help, but no one came. It's the act of letting go. When I warmth of your neck, when I knew you the best, I'm yours. I'm yours. This is over dramatic, headed back from New York, 'cause we both know that this situation's out of control. The moon turned black when I left you. Your t-shirt still on my back. Got lifetimes left to forget you. I should've turned back, but I wasted it all for nothing, for a light that'll never last. Now I stand at your front door, hoping that you'll take me back. Headed back from New York, 'cause we both know that this situation's out of control. Now I'm caught in the middle, breaking down on the floor, 'cause we both know that this situation's out of control. Situation's out of control. Your voices in it.
nice. I like that one.
Yeah, I like that one a lot too.
Yeah, that was really nice.
Very catchy too, of course.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. At the beginning, it kind of had a Erykah Badu kind of a feel to it. I don't know if you're not familiar with her, but
no, I think I might know a couple songs.
Yeah, like the first verse, it's had that kind of a rhythm that I kind of think of with her. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought there was some cool lyrics there, and it gets a nice mellow vibe, and yeah, I don't know. So I think you had said that they broke up, like her and Maria and the drummer producer.
Yeah, I forgot his first name, but Conway.
Conway, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That they broke up, and then the album is mostly about them and their breakup or whatever, which makes sense here if that's the case.
Yeah, especially here.
Yeah, because that seemed pretty clear. You know, at least that they're heading towards breaking apart, because I mean they're heading back from New York and all that, and then the situation's out of control. And at one point, she's clearly like she left him, but then she's back on his door, which is not an uncommon thing.
Yeah, I think. I'm not entirely sure, yeah. Because from what I remember from what I'd read, and I might be wrong or maybe misremembering, but from what I remember, I think it was he left her, the actual breakup.
Okay.
And I think I saw that she said that like she wrote this, maybe it was New York, but it was like he was off somewhere and like sort of not answering calls. And she just felt super alone and wrote Echo, like an echo of him. So it was just like... So maybe she just meant like, I don't know what exactly she's writing about here, but maybe it's like they were both in New York. She went back home, he was staying, and they were having issues. And she was like, I wish I didn't leave in that sense. Like, I wish I stayed with you. But,
okay.
Just because, as far as I know, he left her. So it would be a little bit more confusing for her to say she left.
Unless she wrote it from his perspective or something. Because, the one part said the moon turned black when I left you. But like I said, it could have been leaving New York to come back to LA and left him there.
Yeah, like wish he fought more.
It could be there's different ways to take that. Yeah, and I think the echo is kind of interesting idea that like it's
I think those
an echo is like a reverberation of like what was there, So
well, you could feel it, but it's not there.
Yeah. Right? Or you hear it, whatever his voice, whatever it is. So just the echo. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I like that one a lot. It was very nice.
Cool production too.
Yeah.
And next we got to Run Your Mouth. I do really like this one.
Oh, okay.
This one's really upbeat too.
Cool.
When we talk about everything that happened, we'd rather sit around. I don't need a lesson, you just call me out. I don't wanna listen, you're on my case. Won't you stop with that look on your face? And I can't believe that you only hold me when I'm on my knees. Got me so fed up when you talk too much, when your focus is all out of line. When we talk about everything that happened, rather sit around. Don't need another lesson, you just call me up. Don't need another lesson, you just call me up. Call me when I'm distant, always run your mouth. I don't wanna. Everything that happened, and now you're talking about me too. And I know that I could never get away from you. Yeah, I'll wait for you to turn around and talk it through, but we won't. When we talk about everything that happened, rather sit around. Don't need another lesson. All the shit you put me through, and now you're talking about me too. And I know that I could never get away from you. Yeah, I'll wait for you to turn around and talk it through, but we won't.
That was really cool.
Really, really fun too.
Yeah.
Really cool. I can't imagine when she came in and was like, all right, guys, this is the next song. And he's like, oh,
Yeah, because it's so clearly
It's-
about him and their
yeah.
relationship. Like it's just, And it totally makes sense. Like, if,
for sure.
if you're breaking apart and all that, and or you're arguing and that kind of stuff. So it totally makes sense. When we talk about everything that happened. Yeah, that makes sense. Rather than sit around, I don't need a lesson. Just shut the fuck up.
Exactly, that's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, so it totally makes sense. You just run your mouth. I don't want to listen.
Yeah, she clearly wrote this. She was a little angry for sure.
Oh yeah.
You're on the entire song. You're on the case. All of that. Just it's and it's unfortunate. Like I don't know if her choice or whatever, but they made it one of the most upbeat and really fun songs.
Yeah.
So it's like it'll be played more probably, which is funny.
Don't know whatever works though. Like that's cool. It's kind of like not that it sounds like it, but like when Gwen Stefani like had her breakup
exactly
way back in the early days of
yeah.
No Doubt, and that their first album was like a huge
what was
album because the whole album was really about the breakup.
Oh, Don't Speak, same
Don't Speak.
concept.
Yeah, right. Yeah, just like Don't Speak. Shut up. I got it. Like
exactly.
Stop talking.
I know that is pretty funny.
So that's kind of what I was thinking of. These lyrics, but. Yeah, some cool lyrics. I like the chorus of it a lot, and that was just fun. Kind of cool that they could come together after they broke up and
still make music
still make the music. And
I know I never quite understand how that's possible, but
it's happened in multiple bands.
They create some great music.
So I would assume probably the other person they got a reading. Oh, God, that's totally about me, but. That's a damn good song.
Like he's got to practice the drums. He's like, damn, this is so much fun. Like this is.
Yeah, it's got a good beat here. That was cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah, that was fun. All right, we'll go Real Life.
Oh, that's one had a good bass beat on that bass line too. I was gonna say.
Yeah, it was cool.
Initially, I thought it was like Blue Bayou, like the Linda Ronstadt song, but the bass line, but then it changed.
Yeah.
Can't stay forever this way. Heartbreak, I won't be the same. It's true. I wanna lay with you, dancing inside of my mind. Feels like you're already mine. It's true. I wanna sway with you. Can't stand another white lie and another goodbye.
That's cool.
Yeah, this part's cool too.
Last time I'm touching your face, we tried, but I'm walking away from you. Something I gotta do. Real life, ooh, baby, in real life, can't stand another white lie. Damn, another goodbye.
No, they're cool. And there were elements of it where it almost sounded like underwater, and it's just a touch. But a couple of songs that felt that way to me. But there again, it makes
Yeah.
sense of the album is Submarine,
Submarine.
and the whole first song had that kind of the vibe
The whole
to it.
I don't know if you've seen it, but album cover is underwater too.
Oh yeah, which makes sense because I mean one of the songs I think it was Hamptons even kind of had like water bubble kind of sound in the
I think I
background at one
remember
part,
that.
and then so yeah, it kind of had that vibe for me of like being on a beach. Like I don't know, it was like it's kind of like the song kind of washes over you in a way.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that it's definitely following the theme of the other song lyrically anyway.
Yeah.
That the real life is so it's kind of washing over her, and she's still in that same place where she's trying to figure things out, I think.
Yeah, she's sort of like Yeah, because she says, I wanna be with you, but like in real life, and then it's basically is saying like it's not possible.
Yeah, because the first part was even like, FaceTiming every night. So it was like, if you get like a long distance relationship, and I don't know if that's the case here, but I mean that can be a thing where like I want to be with you in real life. This is not this FaceTiming, this whatever kind of stuff. So I don't know if that was the case, or it's just more like that they're becoming distant, and so that kind of represents it. Don't really know there, but and I also like just the way that she sang that part about like can't stand another white lie and another goodbye.
Yeah, that part's cool.
Yeah, very cool. So I thought that was really nice. But you want to be together in real life, and there's something that's just falling apart.
Yeah, and then I do think, like you said, with the sound of the whole album is like. I guess I'd call it atmospheric, but it is like an almost underwater atmospheric thing. Yeah. And she did, from what I remember, they said that they purposely chose like when Submarine, it's all underwater. The album cover, even the video you can see on the right, like she's underwater, and it's like because she wanted to. I mean, she didn't specifically talk about this, literally a submarine, but just said she wanted to feel like what was it, like loneliness and being secluded.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
If you were in a submarine, I'd imagine that's why she chose the name, but if you were in a submarine underwater, you just feel separated.
Because even if you're with, in the military and you're with other people, you're still just a few, right? Mm-hmm. You're still secluded from the rest of the world. Yeah. So yeah, I get that. Even just like if you're floating in a pool, for instance, everything just sounds kind of warbled if somebody tries to talk to you, even they're right next to you. And so it has that kind of feel to it where it's just like you're just kind of floating and taking it all in. And and everything is just kind of a weird feeling, or, a loneliness or whatever you say. Yeah, so that totally makes sense for the title and for the underwater kind of thing.
The whole vibe
kind of feeling on some of these songs. So yeah.
Unfortunate for him, because basically it's an entire album about how he made her feel, basically.
So it goes. Maybe he wrote some of these lyrics. I don't know. Did she write all the songs? Do we even know that?
I'm not 100% positive. I know Echo, I'm pretty sure I remember hearing that she wrote that one. And a lot of the others just sound like they're from her perspective. But it could be that he wrote some.
And she maybe wrote all the lyrics, but then he did the music or something, or who knows what. But
well, yeah, but once you got the lyrics,
Yeah.
So you have to make the music now, so.
Because he's like the producer for the band or something like that. So, but anyway, it was a cool one. Okay. Yeah. Blur. Also atmospheric. She said she was way into movies and stuff and got her stuff inspired by that, so it does kind of have that sonic soundtrack sound.
beautiful for once in my life, but nothing's quite like it was. Surprise, something inside me is
It was interesting at the end there, her voice got like almost babyish, like, baby voice.
Yeah. And a lot of there's lines going on in the background.
Yeah, right, yeah. A lot of crazy stuff going on, and that one almost had more of a Radiohead kind of a thing going, just like little things kind of go whipping back and forth in the ears, in the headphones, like some strange things going on in the background. And I thought it was interesting, like at the end, where like it did sound like her voice was getting like almost childlike, and to the very end where it's got a little deeper, like don't want to need you.
I'm sort of partially blurring.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like that's what I thought was so cool about it. And then like she clearly, I mean, there's a breakup. It's normal, like he left her or whatever, and she's kind of struggling with it. And then it's like, I need to see you, and sat in my room, talking to cables, say I forget, like that. I won't be misused. It's all that you do. Don't want to need you. Hate that I still do. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like those are great lines. I mean, especially if when you break up, and especially the other person
or get broken up.
Yeah, because that's like I don't want to think of you. I don't want to be with you.
I know it's not the best option for me.
Right. I don't want to need you, but I kind of feel like I do.
I definitely do. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to myself.
Yeah. So I thought that was kind of cool. And then like it's I also like it's all one-sided when I'm excited. That was like just that little thing. Yeah. So, that's just the kind of a cool line, and that like she's kind of like I think excited about him or thinking about him or want to be back together or be with him or whatever, but it's all one-sided.
Yeah.
Some cool little lines like that, and the bass line, even like at the beginning.
Oh, the beginning, that was like funky bass line.
Boom, and it kind of sort of like water again, like raindrops or something. Boom, boom.
Yeah, that's
like a splashing kind of
that,
sure. And like it's just kind of cool how they mixed it in. It's like they got this little, the theme of the underwater thing, but it pops up in little ways.
I think so too. Yeah,
I'm sure it had to be planned, because I was like, that's cool.
Like the whole album, like if you pick any song from it and you hear it, like you can just sort of instantly be like, oh, that's from that album, like 100%. Just off the sound, it's just like that has to be from that album.
Yeah, because I mean, there's like song after song where they have a cool way of incorporating stuff that kind of gives an underwater vibe to it, which is like kind of a weird thing. Like it's got an underwater vibe. What the hell does that mean?
You think it's grainy or something?
Yeah, I don't think it doesn't even make sense. But when you hear it, you go, it has an underwater vibe.
I think her voice contributes a lot, especially in a lot of the other songs. It's super mellow and sort of like drawn out and atmospheric, so it just sounds like when somebody talks underwater.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, well, she has a very nice voice. It's very like it's soothing is a good way to put it. You're right. Like it's very nice. It's pretty,
very breathy, and
it just gets so soothing no matter what she's singing about, which is sometimes painful from her perspective. But then the music's just doing kind of different things. But it's weird because I mean it's nice because the music flows with like that. It flowed very nicely with it and fit the lyrics and everything very nicely. But at the same time, there were some little weird things going on, like in the head. Like you just kind of little sounds kind of going back and forth in the headphones that don't really detract from it in any way, but it does kind of it adds to it.
Yeah, it's
hard to even explain.
It's interesting too because it's like it starts more simple, and then halfway through it gets really like rocking, and then it goes sort of back, but like the music changes. But I think it is just like the lyrics. I think it's sort of a good name, Blur, because it sort of blurs into each other, and there's also a lot of stuff going on. Like at the end, there's her voice getting higher pitched, and there's also like a background, almost like a TV show, like just
yeah,
playing.
like some talking kind of thing going on in the background.
And
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
all just sort of blurring.
Yeah. So
It's
yeah,
interesting.
I agree. I thought that was very cool.
Yeah, we'll go to Paranoia.
Alrighty.
Paranoia.
Coming soon.
I know, right? I do really like this one.
Who is Valentine's Day in the city? Riding in the backseat, come lay with me. Heavy on my mind every time you cry. If in the morning I am with you, and in the evening I am there, and if it's you that's always waiting, kissing the flowers in my hair, your paranoia is annoying. Now all I wanna do is run
We'll come back to that. I mean, that's a good jealousy kind of a.
Yeah. It's also good because the lines are sort of like very deep, and then like the guitar and everything, like it's so fun.
Yeah.
So
heavy on my mind every time you cry. Tell me what to do, can't get through to you. If in the morning I am with you, and in the evening I am there, why do you think I have another when you have always been the one? Your paranoia is annoying. Now all I wanna do is run.
That's cool. I like the like those lines right there. Like it's just that you just took away.
well, I tried to pause it before I moved on, but
I mean, it
Yeah,
repeats
exactly.
as other parts of the song, but especially like right at the very
the chorus.
yeah, the chorus, because it's just like that's just the classic like jealous guy, kind of a thing, or doesn't have
Well,
to be a
both.
guy for
Yeah.
that matter, exactly. Like Suspicious Minds, like the Elvis song,
Yeah, yeah.
the same kind of a thing, because it's like. That's just so strong. I thought so potent, what she's saying, because maybe he broke up with her at some point. But this part was definitely like, hey, if I'm in the morning I'm with you, and in the evening I'm there, and it's you that's waiting, kissing the flowers in my hair. Why do you think I have another?
Yeah.
And when you, it's always, you've always been the one. Your paranoia is annoying. Now all I want to do is run. Like at some point,
yeah.
And I was once that jealous guy. I think back, when I was in
I was
college
gonna say,
or
a lot of
something.
people
It's not an
have
uncommon thing. You
experienced
got to
that.
learn, because like you're so afraid of losing the person that you end up smothering the person and being like jealous, and then you actually end up pushing the person away. And
Yeah.
and that totally encapsulates that whole thing. And
Yeah.
I thought that was brilliant. Loved it.
Yeah, I agree. I that's why I really like that song, because lyrically it's great. Musically, I think it's really cool. Again, the guitar sounds very like watery, very spacious. So that's cool. And very fun. Very fun song, actually. But yeah, I love those lyrics. I feel like everybody has experience with it. Either you were receiving that or you were the one doing it. I feel like everybody's got experience with that to some degree, or you know others. So yeah, it's a cool song.
There were people just get a little paranoid, like, oh no, she's talking to another guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty normal.
Yeah, especially if you're younger. Like my age. Like I know a lot of people are like that, you know?
Oh, yeah, it's very common when you're young. Like I said, that's how I was when I was young. And then you realize, well, that's just kind of stupid.
Yeah, like as long as you realize, as long as you're like, like you got to tell your homie, like, nah, bro. Like, you got to chill. That's not going to
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, very cool song.
Yeah. Move on to Lejos de Ti, which I think is going to be their first, like, I think this one's all Spanish from what I remember.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I see there's a couple on there, looks like. So,
Here we go.
alrighty.
El frío, la noche, siempre me acuerdo de ti. Miles de canciones, siempre me acuerdo de ti. Porque estoy lejos de ti. No te olvides de mí. Tus ojos tan tristes, siempre me acuerdo de ti.
So, everything reminds her of me.
No te olvides de mí. Porque estoy lejos de ti. No te olvides de mí. Sigo cantando, no me queda más entre mis labios tu llanto. Dormía en tu pecho, siempre me acuerdo de ti. Porque estás lejos de mí. Nunca me olvido
That was very nice. I like
It's a
that.
cool song.
Yeah.
Pretty simple.
Yeah, pretty simple. I mean, just, like well, basically everything's just reminding, her of him, it sounds like. And then saying, why am I far from you? Or why are you far from me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. And, I can see after, like, especially after a breakup or something, and you're just thinking of the person like, well, these good things. I remember this, I remember that. And all these great things, and then so why are we not together? Like, why are you far away? Why am I not close to you? So yeah, far away, Lejos de Ti. So that was kind of cool. I liked
It was
it.
cool. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, sort of simple. At least we know, at least on me, I know like just barely enough Spanish to get through it.
This one I totally could read the whole thing.
I assume you would. Actually, I was gonna say this word right here, muriendo.
I'm dying. Estoy muriendo.
Because mono.
There's
Okay.
manos.
Okay, because I didn't know that word, and I was like, yeah, because ya no
So
puedo
in
más.
your
So I was
arms, like
okay.
between your arms or between your hands, technically. But
Yeah, I got because I can't.
I'm
Ya no puedo
dying.
más. Can't do it more in your arms, and then something.
Yeah.
Porque yo sigo cantando like when I'm singing.
Singing,
Can't
yeah.
do it anymore. Yeah.
Right.
So I was like, okay.
So yeah, no, that was, dormir en tu pecho, like, sleeping on your chest, all that
Siempre me
stuff.
acuerdo
So
de ti. Yeah.
yeah, no, very nice, very nice.
I agree. Yeah, really
Yeah.
cool song. That one was more popular too.
Oh, I could see that. That was a very nice, a nice vibe to it.
Yeah, like
you know?
simple, but like you can sing along, and I don't know. Yeah, they're just
Yeah,
chill, I guess. Yeah.
I think even if you don't speak Spanish, you can kind of sing along with that one.
Yeah, it is sort of easy.
In some respects, it's kind of
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, very cool.
And next we got "Love You Anyway."
Alrighty.
Wake up, just to see your face. never break down. Maybe I may never find the words to say. Wait another lifetime so that I could stay. I know that you've always been in love with me. Ooh, I love you
There's a little water bubble.
Yeah, the water bass.
It's kind of cool. So like at the end, like the guitar got kind of a little more like, I wouldn't say distorted, but you know, like a slight distortion, a little more like kind of a chaotic
sure.
feeling going. You know, while she's still saying "I'll love you anyway."
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of a nice little cap on the end of that. Yeah, that was.
That one's fairly simple, I think, too, honestly.
I mean, yeah. I mean, like, you know, lyrically, I think it's certainly a lot more straightforward. Musically, it was doing a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Even though I'm relatively simple, but there were still some interesting things going on there. But yeah, I like the one part where, I mean, like clearly, like, you know, they broke it up or whatever, and like she still is in love with him. And then at one part of the middle song where, you know, she, you know, I said it. I think it was straightforward. It went like real quiet. I said it. I'm in love with you, but I can't tell you what to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, oh my God, I want to live with me. Yeah, it's like, I thought that was really nice because it was like, it just kind of music just dropped it. I said it.
Yeah, I remember that part.
I'm in love with you, but I can't tell you what to do. Like, because like,
Yeah,
like,
they
I
gotta
don't know,
do
like she
anything.
wants him back or something. You know, just like, I love you. What the fuck? You know.
Yeah,
This
like,
kind
so
of
what,
thing.
man? Like, you don't do nothing. Like I said.
Yeah, so I thought that part was the one I really liked the most. There's some other cool lines in there too, but I just really liked that part where it was just such like kind of a raw, honest, like simple little thing. I said it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, so we'll move on to I No Puedo.
I know what. Oh,
There we go.
okay.
Oh, this one is all in Spanish too. I forgot.
I figured by the title, but
You never know. It could be out.
True. Sade.
I was gonna say it has a bit of a Spanish feel to it too.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Ay, amor, te fuiste sin decir adiós, por favor. Vuelve con mi corazón, si es amor, es tan bonito y hecho pedazos. Bailando pasos en tus brazos, qué dolor. ¿Qué pasa si más nunca me dejas en paz? Llevo 1000 años amándote, ya no me puedo controlar. Yo te tengo que borrar, fue tan bonito y hecho pedazos.
I was waiting for the part. I don't know where that's from.
Yeah, I don't know. Like some TV show, or that was like a famous line or something.
Like that's how I feel like you have to say "I no puedo." It's like when you just read like "I," it's like "I no puedo."
I can't. Yeah, that's interesting. Especially the at the end, there's just like kind of just call me.
Yeah, over and over and over.
Yeah,
the whole song just I can't, like I need you back. You need to cook me.
Yeah, like I like
call me corazón.
Right. Yeah, I really like this. The opening lines I thought was so nice. You know that oh love, you left without saying goodbye. Please return with my heart. Like that's beautiful. That's just just it's simple, but it's straightforward. And,
all the lines.
Much. Exactly. And you just you just immediately you get it like right off the bat. Like okay, that's what this song was about. And just like you left and you took my heart with you. And that's kind of harsh if the person left without saying goodbye, particularly, but.
Or just maybe like just didn't didn't explain, So
whatever the case, So
but it actually has a really great vibe to it though. Like
it is like you just tune out and just go with it. It's very, very nice. Yeah, very cool, very nice.
Moving on to No One Noticed. That's the next one. That's the massive one. So you have heard this one technically.
Oh, this is one you played before?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So,
we'll see if you recognize it. Yeah, I heard that one time.
Maybe I lost my mind.
That's really nice.
It's easy to sort of get lost in.
No one noticed.
That's a great line.
No one noticed.
That's just a beautiful song. I really love that one.
It's so good. I mean, it's why it's so popular.
Yeah, I can see why that's the one. I mean, that is so good. The parts that she gets repeating that, that was just beautiful.
It's so catchy, so it's like.
Yeah, I don't know. I was
really
it was very touching. I was feeling it, and I thought it was actually interesting the way it started too. Like I lost my mind and no one noticed.
Yeah. And she says it very. She almost sounds sort of like it just maybe and then the
maybe
music,
I lost my
like
mind
it just
and no one noticed.
Very slow.
Yeah, very slow. Which is an interesting take on it, because if you're like if you lost love and you're hurting and everything and you feel like you just the world doesn't make sense, so you kind of feel like you're losing your mind, potentially. Yeah, so it's interesting. Like you feel like you're losing your mind, but no one noticed. That's interesting way to put it.
Yeah,
it's kind of the opposite of I was thinking like the Paul Simon line from Graceland, which is losing love is like a window in your heart. Everybody sees you're blown apart.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like
they sort of work together.
Yeah, right.
Everybody can see it, but they
see that part, but they don't necessarily know that I've lost my mind.
Yeah, they don't know how far gone.
Yeah. So
and she must have clearly thought it, or the band must have thought it was important enough because that's what they named the song.
No one noticed, right? Yeah. Because like she's struggling, and then but saying that's such a great line.
Yeah, continuous.
Repeating it. Yeah.
No one tried to read my eyes.
No one but you.
Wish it
weren't true. Because he's the one that can do it. But
But
that's so. That come on, don't leave me. It can't be that easy.
If you
leave me, I'll get on a plane for. Yeah, that part. So that's so touching, and so
Yeah, that line in particular.
Don't leave me. It can't be that easy.
Can't be that easy. Yeah.
That is sad and touching, and
it's very depressing. Honestly,
it is, but it's so so honest and raw. Like she felt that, and like she went through that, and put that out there. And like anybody who's gone through a breakup can relate. Like that's how it feels,
Yeah, like, and especially hold me, console me, and then I'll leave without a trace. It goes back to where she was like, no one but you. It was like I think like you said, everybody can totally knows that. Where like if you're going through a breakup and it's like you've sort of accepted like, all right, we can't be together, but it's like if you could just ease the pain and then I'll leave.
Right. Yeah.
Just do something.
Just do something one more time. Just be together. Yeah. It's because nothing makes sense. I just loved it. Beautiful song.
Beautiful. I love that song so much.
Yeah. So good.
Fortunately, me and my ex used to sing that song. Now you're the person she's singing about. Like, come on, bro. Unbelievable. But we'll move on.
But I'm not bitter.
No, I'm kidding. Imagine. That'd be so funny if she actually sees it. But I doubt it. But we'll move on to Vicious, Sensitive Robot.
Okay.
That's a weird title.
And a weird beat.
Be true. Send my love and I'll send you. Never knock on your door. What do you think you need me for? How about you? I got myself so high I can't look down. Do it all to make your day. Anything to take the pain away. Call me back, but I don't see myself in your cell phone. Never stay on the line, hanging me up all the time. Tell a lie, you're uptight. I got myself so high I can't look down. Do it all to make your day. Anything to take the pain away. And if you don't see why I gotta go.
Call me back, but I don't see myself in your cell phone. In your cell phone.
I do really like the production.
Yeah.
Really cool, heavy production.
That was nice, especially how it switched, to from her singing it to him singing it at the end, or just speaking it really. But call me back, but I don't see myself in your cell phone. Yeah, it's an interesting line there.
Very interesting. See myself in your cell phone. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of a cool idea.
Yeah, I know. Let me go back to the other lyrics now.
Oh, at the beginning?
Yeah. The only time that there's ever somebody else besides her singing too, which is interesting.
Yeah, and he was more like talking. I mean, there's a little bit of like kind of a sing-song, you know.
Almost like he's responding.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like kind of, yeah, just kind of getting the other side of it, you know, whether it's responding or he's also feeling that way or, you know, whatever. But, yeah, that's a kind of a trippier one.
Yeah, musically it's really cool. And then I really like the song. Musically it's like, it's one of the ones that I just, because I really like synths. I just love production.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's part of the reason, like, I love Tyler the Creator. But I always like end up listening to like the music so heavily, and then I just forget what the lyrics. Like I just always forget to pay attention to the lyrics.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so it's like
the production was
background.
really cool on that one. That's some interesting stuff because I mean, you know, you obviously had to call me back, but I don't see myself in your cell phone. Then that never stay on the line, hanging me up all the time. I thought it was a nice kind of play on words because, you know, like it's not like hanging up on the person, which is a phone reference, but hanging me up all the time, like you're just kind of screwing with me.
Just leaving me.
You're leaving me hanging here. Like what are you doing? Like,
which is interesting. Vicious, sensitive robot. Like the person is a vicious, sensitive robot. It's interesting.
Well, I mean, I guess because it was the person you loved, and there's a sensitivity there, but then they're like, they don't love you anymore, or they're not calling you back, or whatever, and so that's a vicious thing.
True. I sort of just took it more as like, basically another dig of like, you're vicious and you're sensitive, like you can't take it, like you can't handle it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I could see that too. Yeah. That was an interesting one. Especially
cool
production, music production wise. Yeah.
Move on to If Only.
Alrighty. That was a very noir kind of a.
Yeah.
You know, you could just like visually see it.
And you can see there's not many lyrics.
Oh well.
Even when I dream, I can't fall asleep. If only
Like a play almost.
I can say goodbye. Why'd I even leave? You tell me. Don't give up on me. Then I'll only see you in my dreams.
That was very cinematic, right? It was just
Very much.
Like I said, it had like kind of a noir feeling to me. It was like a
For sure.
like the movie Casablanca or something back in the 40s. Like it was just very, it was, like that's a weird kind of breakup or whatever. Like, you're just still
Totally
thinking
different.
about the other person and, but, hoping or praying or whatever. Like, yeah, because that's really touching. Like, don't give up on me. You'll eventually, which is like, don't give up on me, but you'll eventually do that. You'll eventually. Then I'll see you in my. I'll only see you in my dreams. Like, like you know it's coming. And I don't want that. I'd rather you be with me, but I know pretty soon I'm only going to see you in my dreams. Yeah, that's
It's very dark.
very dark.
Like
yeah,
a very dark feel.
very sad and just like
It feels very alone.
Yeah, it does. Like you just kind of like picture, somebody like her sitting on the floor, drinking whiskey straight out of the bottle, kind of thing, just depressed and alone. And,
Pretty much.
Something like that.
Yeah,
just,
I picture it still sort of reminds me of a Broadway. Like I feel like I picture a Broadway of like the main character or like this main girl who is like the stage is all dark, like because there's smoke over here and like this little video thing, and it's all dark and she's just singing like on the ground like she's about to just pass out after this song.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it definitely has that kind of a feel to it, a Broadway thing or a cinematic thing. And I know from what I read right before we did this that a lot of her inspiration, besides coming from some classical singers, was she gets inspired by movies.
Yeah, because she even started the album saying something about like we can make a movie talking about Submarine, almost like comparing the album to a movie.
Yeah. So she's clearly inspired by certain types of movies and things like that. So that was really interesting.
Yeah. I am starting to think just with the amount of time she says, "Why'd I even leave you?" Tell me, I'm like, did I get it wrong? Was she the one who left? I'm like, I don't. Maybe I got it wrong. Man.
Well, it also could have been. It's not uncommon that people will break up. One person will break up with the other, and they get back together, and the other person breaks up. You know what I mean? Like sometimes they break up multiple times before the final big breakup. So
yeah,
who knows?
And now we're on the last song, Sienna.
All right.
Which I did tell you about. I don't know if you remember, but so. This one, quite sad, and Sienna is the name of the kid that they would have had.
Oh, if they'd had a kid together, they would have named it Sienna.
And the whole song is about Sienna. I was like, God damn.
Okay, that's an interesting one.
Last song too.
Okay, yeah.
Which I guess is fair to make it the last one when it's all about the breakup you guys had.
Yeah, that's a strange one to end on. But I mean,
one.
I guess if you had been planning to have a kid and had already picked out a name, like, yeah, that's all right. Yeah, I haven't heard this one, so.
Please tell me not to go. We've been here long before. I'll lay on your rooftop in the freezing cold, and I'll watch the sunset wearing all your clothes. I can feel you with me like I did before. Ooh, Sienna would have been cute. Ooh, Sienna would look just like you. I feel seen only through you. I'll wait here tomorrow outside your door, like I did in December when you held me close. Ooh, Sienna would have been cute. Ooh, Sienna would look just like you. Jumping in the pool like you. Sing to all her pets in the way I did. Be sensitive like you. And I smile when I think of all the times we had down by the water, crystal clear. See your face in the forest, then it disappears.
Nice, going full circle.
Yeah.
Back to being right underwater,
Underwater,
right
yeah.
where it started. Yeah. That is a trippy thing to write. Like wow. I mean, that's got to
That was
be
a brutal song. I don't know how you would possibly
gut wrenching if that's to write that out. I mean, but I guess if she's just feeling like she misses him, and this she keeps doing in the album, kind of going back to feeling like I still love him and I kind of want him back and this and that, and then. So yeah, so I guess it does make sense. You think back of all these things, and you're gonna think back like, man, we were gonna have a kid, and we were gonna name it this, and I could picture the kid, and so you would have pictured the kid and stuff. So and that part makes sense, but brutal to have to to write it down, and then and he's got to be a part of this band, and and play on this song, and that's really that's kind of heart wrenching. That's.
Yeah, it's a bit crazy lyrically, but like the lyrics, if you just face value, like they're very sort of haunting. But the music isn't necessarily.
No, it's very nice, and it's not like it's not overly dramatic either. It's not it's just right, really. It's just she's just kind of going through some memories and things, and kind of picturing what could have been.
Yeah. So it sort of seemed like it's hard to tell, but just that last line, see her face in the forest, then it disappears. Like she's definitely sort of struggling with. Like in some lines, she sounds like she's moved on with the smile, and I think of all the times we had.
Yeah.
It's like the whole album basically is like there's times she seems like she's doing good, and other times where she's like nope.
Yeah, other times it's just like because it's just laying on your rooftop in the freezing cold and.
Yeah.
Watch the sunset wearing all your clothes. Or just like she just wants to be with him, and all that kind of stuff. And those memories are just all around her. So whether it's good or bad, like she's remembering all some of the good times but it's really more about remembering what could have been.
Yeah.
And so that's not really a good feeling. That's generally
that is like of course one of the first things you're gonna think of after a breakup, like what would have been or what you planned. Especially since it seems planned, like whatever planned was.
Yeah, I mean, clearly, if they plan to have a kid, they plan to have a life together. Like,
for sure, yeah, as most people do.
Right, yeah. So then thinking back, like, well, we were going to get married and have a kid and grow old together, and like,
yeah,
this sucks.
Brutal ending for the album, really.
It is, but it was fitting though. I mean, it was beautifully done. It sounded really nice, and like I said, it was haunting, but it wasn't melodramatic. It wasn't just like over the top or crying, screaming. I don't know. It just I think it was a nice coda. Nice feel ending to it all, and nice how they brought it back together with the theme and then the water and being feeling underwater and alone again. Very nice. Very the whole album thematically really pulls together nice. Not just her lyrics and her singing, but how the production, the music of it. And,
for sure, it's
getting the little underwater references in there without being not being coy, not being overdone either. I didn't think, where it's like, okay, it's another freaking water reference. It was subtle. It was just enough where it's like, all right, they got the theme going, where you could probably miss it if you really weren't paying attention, or you could just listen to a song and you wouldn't necessarily pick up on it. And very nice. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I really love this album. This is one of my favorites of the. I know it was released 2024, but I've just discovered at least. I knew a couple songs, but I knew to discover the album 2025, so it was one of my favorites that I listened to.
Really, yeah. No, that was super nice. I like it, and particularly that the one song. No One Noticed was such a great song. That is a
great one.
Oh, I really love that one. Yeah.
So that's about it. I mean, maybe we'll check out some of their other stuff, and then we'll see them when we do Un Verano Sin Ti with Bad Bunny. So we'll see.
They're on that way. Yeah. Okay, right.
So yeah, for now. That's about it. So thank you guys for watching.
Thanks so much. We appreciate it, as always.
And leave some comments. Let us know what you thought about the album and our video. Any extra information you have, would appreciate that.
Yeah.
And just go ahead and check out some other videos you like. Leave a like, subscribe.
Please. That'd be nice.
Yep. And that's about it. So we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.